Finding an equation using the slope-intercept form of the equation works well when you are given the slope and y-intercept. But what happens when you have another point instead of the y-intercept? The point-slope form of an equation with slope m and containing the point with coordinates x sub 1, y sub 1 is y minus y sub 1 equals m times quantity x minus x sub 1. Let's have an example. Find an equation of a line with slope equals negative 1/3 and contains the point with coordinates 6, negative 4. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. So what we are going to do is we are going to substitute the values here in the equation. So we write first the equation. We have y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Okay? Then in the given point, we label it as x sub 1 and y sub 1. So we will not be confused during the substitution process. So let's proceed now to our equation. Just copy y, then minus, our y sub 1 is negative 4, so enclose it in the parentheses because it's negative 4. Why are we doing this? This is to avoid confusion because sometimes if you're not going to enclose it in the parentheses, we might forget to write the negative sign. Equals, our slope is negative 1/3. Okay, times x. Our x sub 1 is 6, so minus 6. Okay, then we simplify first the signs. Okay, so we have y minus negative 4. So in subtracting integers, we change the sign of the subtrahend. Our subtrahend is negative 4. So from negative 4, it becomes positive 4. And we proceed to addition. So from minus, we have plus. Okay? So, or simply recall what your 7th grade teacher had taught you on subtracting integers. Okay? Always remember the mnemonics. KCC. Keep, change, change. Okay? Keep the minuend. Change the operation from minus to plus. Then change the sign of the subtrahend from negative rather to positive. Okay? So, let's continue. Then we have equals, okay, negative 1/3 of x minus 6. Okay. Now, notice that the equation is in fraction form. Now, how are we going to remove the fraction form of the equation? We simply get the cross products. Okay. Now, y plus 4 has an understood denominator of 1. Okay. So, in getting the cross products, we multiply 3 to this and then 1 to the numerator on the left side. So we have here now 3 times y plus 4 is equal to, okay, 1 times any number is the number itself. So we're just going to copy this one here. So we have negative 1 times x minus 6. Now, each binomial is factored to a monomial, so we're going to perform the distributive property of multiplication. So we have 3 times y is equal to 3y. Then we have 3 times 4 is equal to positive 12. Then we have negative 1 times x is negative x. And negative 1 times negative 6 is equal to positive 6. Now you are asked to write the equation in slope-intercept form. What is the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line? We have y is equal to mx plus b. Okay? So, we are going to isolate 3y first on the left side. Okay, then we have on the right side, we have negative x plus 6. Then we are going to transpose positive 12 to the right side. Positive 12 becomes negative 12. And the idea of, again, transposition is by adding the additive inverse of positive 12 to both sides. Okay? So we have now 3y is equal to negative x. 6 minus 12 is equal to negative 6. Then you're going to divide all terms by 3 so that what's left on the left side is y. So we have negative x over 3 is negative x over 3 Then we have negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Another way of writing this equation is y. Our slope is negative 1/3 x minus 2. So here our y-intercept is negative 2, or the y-intercept has the coordinates 0 and negative 2. Okay? That's it. That's how easy it is. Okay. Next example. Find the equation of the line with slope equals 5 and containing the point negative 2, negative 7. Those are the coordinates of the given point. So same process, we're going to copy first the equation y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Okay? So negative 2 is our x sub 1 and negative 7 is our y sub 1. So simply copy y minus our y sub 1 is negative 7 again. We are going to enclose it in a parenthesis so that we'll not forget to write the negative sign of 7. Okay? Equals m times x minus x sub 1 is negative 2. Enclose it in a parenthesis. And then, the next step is we're going to simplify the signs. Okay? There are plenty of negative signs here. So we're going to simplify it further. Okay, so we have here subtraction of integers. Recall what your 7th grade teacher had taught you on this again. So what we have now here is y. Change the sign of the subtrahend. From negative, it becomes positive. Then proceed to addition. So we have plus. Or change, keep y. Change the operation from minus to plus. And then change the sign of the subtrahend from negative to positive. Equals m. Okay, what we are going here on the right side is same as with the left side. So we have x plus 2. Okay, by the way, we forgot to write the slope. Sorry for that. Okay, just copy the slope. Our slope is equal to 5. It's quite easy anyway. Just write it here, 5 and 5. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we're going to distribute the slope 5 to the terms inside the parenthesis. Okay, what we're going to do with the left side terms is to simply copy it. We have 5 times x is equal to 5x. Then we have 5 times 2 is equal to 10. Then write is 1 in slope-intercept form. So again, if you're going to write it in the slope-intercept form, we have y is equal to mx plus b. Follow this pattern. So we have isolate y on the left side. So we have y is equal to 5x plus 10 transpose positive 7. It becomes negative 7. So we have y is equal to 5x. 10 minus 7 is equal to positive 3. So this is now the equation of the line with slope equals 5 and contains the point with coordinates negative 2, negative 7. So clearly here, we can see that the y-intercept is 3, so therefore it has coordinates 0, 3. Okay, so if your b is equal to 3, and then in the point form, you have 0, 0, positive 3. Okay, it's positive 3. Of course, we have the slope is 5, the same as this. Okay, I hope you're getting it right. And then for your practice, kindly answer activity number 17, items 1 and 2. I want you to pause this video for a while and answer it. When done, play the video again. Okay, so let's answer item number 1. So copy first the equation y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus 1. In this way, you will not be confused during the substitution process. Then we are going to label the coordinates of the given point with x sub 1, y sub 1. Okay, so we have copy y minus our y sub 1 is negative 5. Enclose it in a parenthesis. Then our slope is negative 2/5. Okay, usually the numerator carries the sign. We have x minus 3. Then we have simplified the sign. So we have y plus 5 is equal to negative 2/5 times x minus 3. Then we get the cross products to remove the fraction form of the equation. This is understood to be 1, so multiply. So you have 5 times y plus 5 is equal to 1 times this is negative 2 times x minus 3. Okay? So that's 1 times negative 2 is negative 2 times x minus 3. Then apply the distributive property of multiplication. So we have 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 5 is equal to positive 25 equals negative 2 times x equals negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 3 is equal to positive 6. Now we are going to write the equation in the slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. So, we are going to isolate 5y on the left side. So, what's left in the right side is negative 2x plus 6. And do not forget to transpose positive 25 to the right side. So, it becomes negative 25. So, we have now 5y is equal to negative 2x. 6 minus 25 is equal to negative 19. And then, you're going to divide all terms by 5 to get y. Y now is equal to negative 2/5 of x minus 19 over 5. Okay? So, what's good in writing the equation of the line in slope-intercept form is we can identify another point on the line, which is the y-intercept. So here our y-intercept is negative 19 over 5, or the point with coordinates 0, negative 19 over 5. Okay, that's it. Quite easy. How about for item number 2? So we have item number 2 is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1 is our x sub 1, our y sub 1. Then we have here y minus y sub 1 is negative 6, and our slope is 3/4 times x minus x sub 1. Then we simplify these signs. We have now y plus 6 is equal to 3/4 of x plus 4. Then we get the cross products here. So we have 4 times y plus 6 is equal to 3 times x plus 4. Apply the distributive property of multiplication. Okay. So we have 4y plus 24 is equal to 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is positive 12. Then writing it in the slope-intercept forms, we're going to transpose 24 to isolate 4y on the left side. Then we have here on the right side, we have 3x plus 12 minus 24. Now 4y is equal to 3x. 12 minus 24 is equal to negative 12. Then dividing all terms by 4, so we'll get y rather. Y is equal to 3/4 of x minus 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. Okay, so our y-intercept is negative 3, or the point with coordinates 0, negative 3. And for your submission, students, kindly answer items 3 and 4. We all know that 2 points determine a line. So, how will you determine the equation of the line using these 2 points? Okay, so what are we going to do? The process that we did a while ago will still be applied here. But first is, we are going to determine the slope of the line given these 2 points. Okay, so we have here x sub 1. Okay, let's make use of this pen color. Okay, the first point has coordinates x sub 1. Then we have y sub 1. Second point has coordinates x sub 2 and y sub 2. How do we determine the slope given 2 points? You can make use of the formula m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over y sub over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Okay, they're just the same. Okay, So y sub 2 minus y sub 1 is what we call the change in y, and x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is the change in x. That is why we need to subtract the coordinates. Okay? Equals. So we substitute our y sub 2 is equal to negative 2 minus, what is our y sub 1? Our y sub 1 is negative 1, so do not forget to enclose it in a parenthesis. This is to avoid of not writing the negative sign of 1. Minus x sub 2 is positive 2 minus our x sub 1 is negative 3, so it's negative again. Do not forget to enclose it in a parenthesis. Okay, let us now perform subtraction of integers here. So we have keep the minuends, we have negative 2. Change the operation from minus to plus. Remember your 7th grade teacher. Okay, so we have the keep, change mnemonics. Then we have negative 1 becomes positive 1. That's why we have negative 2 plus 1. Then we have here 2 minus negative 3 is 2 plus 3. Okay, so our slope now here is negative 1/5. Okay, next is we are going to choose one of the points. Okay, say we choose the first point with coordinates negative 3 minus negative 3 and negative 1. So we choose negative 3 and negative 1. Okay, later I'll show you that if you're going to make use of the second point, we will arrive at the same equation. Then we're going to make use of this, okay, negative 1/5 slope and the coordinates of the point, negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, so we have y minus y sub 1 is negative 1 equals the slope is negative 1/5 times x. Our x sub 1 is negative 3. Simplify first the sign so you'll not be confused. So we have y minus negative 1 is y plus 1 equals negative 1/5 times x plus 3. Then we get the cross products. Okay. So we have, what we have now is 5 times y plus 1 is equal to negative 1 times x plus 3. And then we distribute 5 to both terms here. So we have 5 times y plus 5 times 1 is 5 is equal to negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times positive 3 is negative 3. We're going to write the equation in the slope-intercept form. Okay, so we're going to isolate 5y first on the left side. So what's left here is negative x minus 3. Then do not forget to transpose positive 5 to the right side, so it becomes negative 5. So we have now 5y is equal to negative x. Negative 3 minus 5 is equal to negative 8. Okay, then we have divide all terms to 5, so we can have y. So our y here now is y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 8 over 5. Okay. So the equation of the line is y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 8 over 5. You might be asking me again, ma'am, can I make use of this, the other point? Okay, let's make use of this. So 2, negative 2, this will be our x sub 1 and this will be our y sub 1. Okay, so I'll be making use of this area. So we have y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Y minus our y sub 1 is negative 2 times m, that is negative 1/5 times x minus x sub 1, which is positive 2. 2. Then we have now this understood to be 5, so we can now go directly now with the cross products, okay, because we need space here. So you have 5 times y plus 2 is equal to negative of x, negative 1, negative 1 times x minus 2, okay. Then we distribute 5 to both numbers here. So we have 5y plus 10 is equal to negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 10. We are going to write this one in the slope-intercept form. So isolate 5y. So we have 5y here is equal to negative x plus 10. Then we are going, this is not 10, this is, okay, let me correct this one. This is 2. Okay. That is positive 2. This is positive 2 here. So I need to erase this one also. Okay. Okay. So this is positive 2. Okay. Again, this comes from here. Negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. And then do not forget here to transpose positive 10, so it becomes negative 10. So you have now 5y is equal to negative x, 2 minus 10 is equal to negative 8. Then dividing all terms by 5 to get y. So we have now y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 8 over 5. Notice that we arrive at the same equation. So meaning to say, we can just make use of any of the two given points to find the equation of the line. Another way of finding the equation of this line given 2 points is, okay, we are going to explicitly write in the equation the slope formula. So we have y minus y sub 1. Instead of writing m, we are going to write the formula for the slope. We have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 times x minus x sub 1. Okay? Next is we are going to, of course, label the coordinates of the given 2 points, so to avoid confusion during the substitution process. So let us now substitute. So we have y. Our y sub 1 is negative 1. Okay? Do not forget to enclose it in a parenthesis. Next, we have y sub 2 is negative 2 minus our y sub 1 is negative 1 over x sub 2, that is positive 2, minus our x sub 1 is negative 3 times x minus our x sub 1 is negative 3. Okay? Then we simplify the signs because there are plenty of signs here. So we have y minus negative 1 becomes y plus 1 by, of course, following the rule in subtracting integers. So we have here negative 2 plus 1, negative 2 plus 1. Then we have 2 plus 3 is equal to, not equal, that must be times here. Okay. So we have times x plus 3. So here our slope is negative 1/5. Okay, just erase this one and write negative 1/5. Okay, so we can economize space. So we have negative 1/5. Okay, and then we get the cross products now to remove the fraction form of the equation. Y plus 1 as an understood denominator of 1. So we have 5 times y plus 1 is equal to, of course, 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 times x plus 3. Then we apply the distributive property of multiplication. We have 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 1 is positive 5 equals negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times positive 3 is negative 3. We're going to write the equation in the slope-intercept form, so we can also determine another point of the line, which is the y-intercept. Then, to do this, we're going to isolate 5y on the left side. Okay. So what's left here is negative x minus 3 on the right side. And do not forget to transpose positive 5 to the right side, so it becomes negative 5. So we have 5y is equal to negative x minus 8. Okay. Then divide all terms by positive 5. So y is equal to negative x over 5 minus 8 over 5. Notice that this equation is the same as the previous equation. Okay? So there are plenty of ways in finding the equation of the line. One is the one I have presented a while ago, and the second one is by explicitly including the equation of the slope in the equation or the point slope form of the equation of the line. Okay? Next, example number 2. Okay? So, let's try using the two-point slope form wherein the slope is explicitly written in the equation. So, we have here x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay. X sub 1. Okay, first is we are going to write the equation y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Now, we are going to explicitly write the equation of the line. Okay. So, we are going to write it like this. So, we have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 times x minus x sub 1. I think this equation is much easier than the other one. Okay. So, we have y minus y sub 1. Y minus y sub 1 is 3. Y sub 2 is negative 8. Minus y sub 1 is 3. Then we have x sub 2 is 5. Then our y sub 1 is x sub 1 is 5. Okay. Times x minus x sub 1. Okay. X sub 1 is 5. Sorry for that. Okay. That is 5. Okay. So, let us now determine the slope. So, we have negative 8 minus 3 is negative 11, and 5 minus 5 is equal to 0 times x minus 5. So, meaning to say here, okay, we cannot write the equation of the line in the slope-intercept form. Why? Because obviously, our slope is undefined. M is undefined. So, therefore, the line is vertical. So, we have here the graph is vertical. So, we have when x is equal to 5, our y is positive 3. When x is equal to 5, our y is negative 8. So, mean to say, this is it. Therefore, we cannot write the equation of the line in the slope-intercept form because actually the line is vertical and the slope is undefined. Okay? So, that's it. For your practice, kindly answer activity number 18, skills practice in your book. So, I want you to pause this video for a while and then, after answering, play the video again to check your own work. Okay? So, let's check. Okay? So, for item number 1, we can just make use of the two-point slope form where the slope is explicitly written. So, we have here y minus y sub 1 is equal to the slope y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 times x minus x sub 1. Or you may just simply use the equation y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, where you're going to determine first the slope before substituting it in the equation. Okay? So, what we're going to do is label the coordinates first to avoid confusion during the substitution process. So, we have y minus y sub 1, which is 6, equals y sub 2 is equal to negative 5 minus y sub 1, which is 6. Then we have our x sub 2 is 3 minus our x sub 1 is negative 2. Okay? Times x minus x sub 1, which is negative 2. Okay? Then, going to simplify the signs. We have y minus 6 is equal to negative 5 minus 6 is equal to negative 11. 3 minus negative 2 is equal to 5. Then we have times x plus 2. Then we get the cross products now. So you have 5 times y minus 6 is equal to negative 11 times x plus 2. Then we are going to distribute. You have 5y minus 30 is equal to negative 11x minus 22. Okay, we are going to write it in the slope-intercept form. So we are going to isolate 5y. So we have 5y is equal to negative 11x minus 22. Then do not forget to transpose negative 30. It becomes positive 30 here. So we have now 5y is equal to negative 11x plus 8. Then divide both or all terms by 5. We have now y is equal to negative 11x over 5 plus 4/5. Okay? You have to take note that we can also make use of the point with coordinates 3, negative 5 as our point here. Okay? So that's for number 1. How about for number 2? Now you look at the x coordinates of number 2. They're just the same. So meaning to say, we have here a vertical line. So therefore, we cannot write the equation of this line, the line in slope-intercept form. Okay? So, I hope you were able to get all the answers correctly. And then for submission, kindly answer items 3 and 4. That's all for today.